you can do the maximum amount of leadership, spreading the word. It ultimately comes down to them making the choices.
Yeah.
You can't do this for someone else. You
Yes.
can't be happy for someone else. So you have to feel happy in your advocacy work, that you'll reach the people that ultimately wouldn't have never had the opportunity to learn that stuff.
Yes.
So you're going to impact 50% of the people that end up
Yes,
watching you.
yes.
And you have to be happy with that.
Yeah. Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Seasons podcast, where we talk about everything women. And today is an extra special episode because I have two incredible women, a mother, a daughter duo, our first one together. Being a girl is part of our season, and I can't wait to unfold that together. We have Teresa and Lolli. Teresa is not just a mother supporting her child's journey. She is a visionary, a leader, a powerful force in the health and wellness space in her own right. She is the co-founder of Biohack Yourself Media, a platform at the forefront of conversations around longevity, health, sovereignty, and medical freedom. Through her work, Teresa has helped create award-winning documentaries, curated global health conversations, and built a media ecosystem that amplifies voices, shaping the future of human performance and conscious living. By her side is Lolli, 9 years old and already redefining what's possible for the next generation. I'm so happy to have you here.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Love is the youngest health journalist and peer reviewer of Biohack Yourself Media. She has spoken on major stages, interviewed world-renowned doctors and wellness experts, and recently delivered a powerful speech on childhood health and medical freedom at the Maha Ball in Washington, D.C. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Together, Teresa and Love represent something rare, a mother-daughter partnership rooted in curiosity, discipline, integrity, and purpose. They've worked on award-winning documentaries, including Biohack Yourself and Shield, interviewed leaders like Andrew Tate, Brian Johnson, Gary Brecka, Dr. Amen, and Ben Greenfield, and traveled the world attending conferences centered on health, performance, and personal responsibility. Beyond media, they live what they teach, prioritizing movement, learning, entrepreneurship, and intentional family culture. Love is growing up inside real conversations about health, finances, freedom, and self-trust while still being a kid. What makes this conversation so special isn't just what they've accomplished, it's the dynamic between them. A mother leading by example. So important. A daughter learning through lived experience. And so today, we're not just talking about wellness or media. We're exploring motherhood, legacy, and what it looks like to raise children inside purpose instead of pressure. Teresa and Lolli, thank you. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm so honored to have you. I'm so excited for this energy, this vibe, this togetherness, mother-daughter. We're gonna talk about everything, but I'm gonna ask you the first question as the mom.
And thank you so much for having us.
Thank you
This
for
is
being
amazing.
here.
Thank
This
you.
is so
It's an honor.
exciting. You look beautiful, both of you. I'm so excited.
Thank you.
And it's incredible for me because you are part of the season. And I talked a
Yes.
little bit about your dad. You'll tell us more, but like, that is the truth. You are the beginning. And here we are in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Moms.
Yeah?
Yes.
Incredible. Please tell me,
Yeah.
before everything, what did you expect motherhood to be? And then how did that shift occur for you?
That's such a good question, because when I became pregnant, I decided I'm gonna look at this as a college degree. Like, I'm gonna start studying what it takes to be the best mom on earth.
I love that.
So as she was close to like 2 months in my tummy, I started downloading those apps.
Okay.
You know, oh, your baby's now a
Yes,
grapefruit
I love
seed or
those.
whatever, right? And that really got me started. And I started actually searching for books, emotional intelligence books, you know, Happy Parents, Happy Children, Unconditional Parenting by Alfie Kahn. Like, I read and listened to so many books.
I love that.
Before she was born.
Yeah.
So as she came out, I kind of knew what I was going to do.
Okay.
I kind of knew I got to give her the unconditional parenting all the way till age 7 or 8, right? And then at 8 is when you start implementing a little bit more discipline, a little bit more consequences. But until then, you want their security, you want their emotional intelligence to grow. So above and beyond yourself, you're going to give them unconditional love and unconditional support and listen to them. No baby talk. That was a big one. When she was born, I intentionally talked to her as if she was my girlfriend. She was my adult girlfriend. So I would just talk for hours on end. She'd just look at me.
I love
I was
that.
like, oh, baby, so I'm going to put this jojoba oil on you. What it does is actually it enhances your skin. It's soft. It's moisturizing. Do you know what moisturizing means? Like, I would talk to her for hours.
Best.
My husband would often laugh at me and be like, what are you doing? It's like, I'm just talking to my best girlfriend.
That's right.
And I think all of those conversations were saved in her subconscious.
Absolutely.
So today, she's only 9. She has such a vocabulary. And I'm like, I haven't really put any emphasis on her to do vocabulary education. Like, you know, just really reading a ton of books for that. I think it's all the conversations we've had with her.
They're a sponge.
Yeah, sponges.
Absolutely. And I agree with that. Everything that you said, very similar. I saw, I looked, and what's happening, and how does it feel, and what size fruit they are, and, you know, and get the fruit and put it against me. And
I'm
like
telling you.
I totally get that. That's incredible.
It's just having that responsibility. You're about to create a human being that's not going away.
Yes.
This human being is not just a baby, it's going to be a grown-up one day.
agree.
So how do you actually, and one thing that got me was that the kid's brain developed up to 50% in the first year of their lives.
Yep.
Then up to about 70% in the second year of their lives, and up to 80% in the third year of their lives. When I heard that, I was like, oh my gosh, this is the most important 3 years.
Yes.
So most parents actually do it the opposite way. They're like, oh, they're just babies, they're just babies. When they're 5, then we'll start
putting them in
educating
school,
or whatever.
absolutely.
But then they
Absolutely.
put them into a system that they're not even governing or supervising. So those first 3 years were instrumental in building our trust, building our relationship, our love for each other. True love, nothing forced, nothing, you know, no real like, it's like emotional attachment without a force.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's genuinity.
Yes.
And love, tell me about that. Tell me how it is growing up with your mom. What is that like for you? Before the media, before, you know, being on talk shows and talking to everyone else, what was it like just being with mom?
It was amazing. It was like both of us, 2 girlfriends, shopping.
I can see it.
And,
I can see it.
So we would like, I was about like 2 years old, 3 years old, 4 years old. We kept on going shopping at maybe 2 years old, and it
Never
was
ends.
amazing. Yeah, it never ends.
We were attached. Like we
Yeah.
were 24/7.
I love that.
We never left each other's side,
Yeah.
right? Always together,
And-
doing classes. Oh, she had a very busy schedule.
Okay,
Even
tell me
from
more about
5
that.
months old, you were not only going to about 7, 8 classes a week.
Wow.
It was music class, swimming class, dancing class, like all these classes. But then also she was a very busy child actor. Well, not an actor first. It was a print model, right?
Okay.
So she was booking, auditioning. We were constantly busy. We always had things to do.
Yep.
So it was never a quiet moment. We always had things to do. And when it was quiet, we would just talk and play games.
I love that.
And do our goals. Even when she was tiny, at 3, I think the first time we did her goal sheets, you know, in a perfect world, what would you want for next year?
Yes.
And then we just write them down, and then we start putting our energies towards that. So all of those principles, that was day in a life for us.
Yes.
Going to auditions, going to filming, going to classes, always together.
That's
best
amazing.
friends.
And was that something that you wanted from the get-go? You said, I'm going to have kids and I want them to be models, actors. What was that like for you? What did you envision
Yeah.
the path would be?
Yeah, so I was an actor. I was actually in a bunch of movies.
Amazing.
One of them was on Netflix with Corey Feldman. I was a recording artist. But when we became pregnant, I stopped all of that.
Got it.
I even told my agent, I was like, that's it. You know, I'm pregnant. I'm going to be the best mom on earth.
I
like,
love it.
I'm going to spend every single minute with my daughter. And so I'm done.
Yes.
And, you know, because I know there's always a career waiting for you.
Absolutely.
The most instrumental ages, you have to be there for your child.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. So when I stopped that, it was very funny. About 7 months later, my agent actually emailed me.
Okay.
It was like, hey, so I have this job for a pregnant mom, and you fit the mold.
Perfect.
Yeah. Are you still pregnant? I'm like, yeah. And by the way, like the belly's perfect. It's nice and tight, very pregnant. So, you know, he said, okay, so just take a few pictures and submit it. We submitted it, and I was on the cover of Babies R Us.
Incredible.
As a pregnant mom.
Probably
so that
my
was funny.
favorite
That's why we have a joke. We're like, babe, you started modeling and acting
Exactly.
since you were in mommy's tummy.
That's
I
amazing.
was making sure to act like a baby inside my mom's tummy for the commercial.
You were focused on that.
Yes, I was very focused.
Oh my gosh.
So then
that's
when she was born, the
incredible.
same agent again came back, was like, yeah, just one last thing. There's a Pampers job. They're looking for a Middle Eastern mom with a newborn baby. They're looking specifically for 2 weeks old.
Incredible.
And according to my documentation, your baby should be 2 weeks old by now. I'm like, she is 2 weeks old right now. So we go to the audition.
How
She's like
perfect.
brand new, like 14 days old, opening her eyes. But since then, she was very friendly, very just like an old soul.
Right.
Never like threw a tantrum and
Right.
cried. A very
Right.
calm baby. So we booked it.
Incredible.
And that gave me the idea. I was like, oh my gosh, I can still do what I love,
Yeah.
what I'm passionate about, but more focused on her.
I love
and we
that.
realized job after job after job, she was gaining massive amount of confidence as a baby.
Yes.
And then as a toddler. Because let me tell you something. When you're a baby, right? Just think of it from baby's eyes.
Yep.
You open your eyes, who do you see in your life? Mostly you see your family members who are, yes, all over you.
Yep.
And then you see some friends, your age kids, who
Yes.
are maybe not all over you.
Right.
Or, you know, like they're not going to be gushing all over you.
It's
and then
true.
you see their parents,
Yep.
who are definitely not going to be all about you. And then you go on set where there is 25 grown-ups. They're all about you. They're like,
Yes.
do this now, and they're all cheering on for
Yeah.
you. You're like, oh my gosh, I am a big deal.
Yes.
At that little age. So the amount of confidence that gave to my children, I'm forever thankful to that industry.
What a great
Yeah.
frame. I agree because and love, tell me more about that because you know it's true. It's funny because in behaviorism, we talk about like reinforcement and other kids are not. They don't care. They walk away and like who cares? What was the spot like for you?
Well, I don't really like. There's a thing like you can only remember stuff from when you're 4 and up. But my mom used to show me videos when I was 2, so I think I remember a little bit. And you know, back watching then, my brain just kind of felt like. Back then when I was 2, I felt really happy. I was like, I'm a child actor. And then I remember this one video, I'm talking to the camera. I'm like, I love working on set. And all these castmates are so amazing. And I was talking, I was only like 4, and everyone was next to me taking pictures. And I felt like a tiny celebrity.
Yes. I mean, you definitely are and beautifully spoken. I love that you embrace that. Because I'm sure, and you can tell me in other experiences, like not everyone's ready. I love that you were open and gentle, and you, I'm sure, like clearly have fostered that. It's incredible. How did that shape into the season we're in now?
Yeah. So as we were super busy living in New York, doing our thing, and when Legend was born, he was also very busy, and he went through his whole health journey, and I was very focused on health already at that time, but he was also doing his child actor. You want to say something?
Also, when I was like 2 years old, we were going shopping at the supermarket, and we were just going shopping on regular aisles and eating, like drinking milk and having some bread once in a while. And then when my brother was born, he came out with 7 misdiagnoses. So my mom started reading a bunch of books, being so careful. Then when we went to the supermarkets, I noticed like we were going in different aisles and more. My mom was asking everyone, where is the soy-free, gluten-free, dairy-free,
Yes.
corn-free aisle? And you know, that didn't change anything. That changed some things for me, and I realized it's not all my brother's fault. It's also a learning lesson that you gotta be careful of some things that you eat, and you can't just go all out and like if. And sometimes I go back and think if my brother wasn't born with all the health issues, I would have grown up with a lot of more health issues since what I
just
have
be
been eating when
Yeah.
I was younger and kept on doing it. So I can thank my
incredible
brother.
insight.
So cool that she remembers this, because I used to bring them and make them a part of the discovery.
It's so important.
What is gluten-free? What is
Yes.
dairy-free? I mean, it was
Yes.
very difficult
Yeah.
month for me. I remember an entire month of actually, this is why she's remembering the shopping for
Yeah.
food, because we would spend hours in the supermarket reading all the labels, and I mean, they were
Which
little.
is scary.
They were very little.
I also
Yeah.
have just started reading the labels
Yeah.
and going through, and I agree as a parent, like, I don't know about you,
Yeah.
but before being a mom, I cared, but
Yeah.
like, whatever, I'm gonna
You'll
eat
eat a sushi
it.
here and there,
Right,
yeah.
and like, oh, okay, and then the second the kids come, like, what am I washing them with, and what are they
Yeah.
eating, and what's
Like you
this,
look at
and
them
what
like
are they
this
breathing?
pure perfection.
Absolutely. And then it's really scary. And you,
Yeah.
like, even now, go to Publix and read what they call bread. It's not
Yeah.
bread. There's
Yeah.
not one ingredient there
Yeah.
that's bread.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
down
why
to, like,
we only eat
shampoos and
healthy
100%.
Armenian bread that my grandparents bring home. like,
Yes.
the actual healthy gluten.
Yes, absolutely. And balance and moderation.
Yeah.
How did you, well, I'll take a step back. So tell me about your son.
Yeah.
Tell us what were the issues, what was missed, what was found, and
Yeah.
then how that grew into biohacking.
Yeah. So when Legend was born, he was fine, but he wasn't sleeping well.
Okay.
He would wake up almost every 40 minutes and cry, but he would wake up sad and upset.
Yes.
So I started going on a research, and he was misdiagnosed 7 times, and each diagnosis was not matching the previous one.
Oh, gosh.
Can you imagine, as a mom, you haven't slept for 5 months, and this
I
kid is always
remember.
up, always crying, always like not happy. In the daytime, he was always moody because he didn't
Yeah.
get sleep.
Right.
The only sleep he would get was during the winter in a stroller. I would put him on the balcony where it was like cold air, fresh air in the stroller.
Yeah.
And I would just like sit there next to him and like sing songs. That's the only time he would get like 2 hours straight. But
Yeah.
because he was like almost like hunched over.
Yes.
So I started realizing something's up.
Yeah.
Like, why is it when he's like straight on his back, he's not sleeping? So we discovered he had like acid reflux. Why does he have acid reflux? Really just digging into the root cause. And thank God I didn't listen to the misdiagnosis,
Yes.
because if I had, right, with each misdiagnosis came a medication.
Yes.
And I had a whole kitchen table laid out with all the paperwork, with
Yep.
the medication,
Yep.
paperwork, medication. And when I realized it just doesn't make sense, like the kid is not autistic. Like
Right.
he's not, he doesn't have a restless leg syndrome. Like, what the heck is that?
Wow.
Like, I'm researching, there's other symptoms attached to restless leg
Yes,
syndrome
yes.
that he doesn't have. So
Right.
just like so fishy. Then I went the complete alternative route. I discovered Dr. Tom O'Brien and I discovered Dr. Steve Gundry. I started listening to their books and I became the most paranoid person ever. I was like, we gotta change the Tupperware. She was witnessing all of that. Remember
I
how
was
it
like,
took
there's
out-
nothing wrong.
Yeah. Like, I was taking out Tupperware,
Yes.
shampoos, clothes, diapers, like
everything.
everything was
Yes.
changed. It was a whole big year of discovery. I ended up going to, I even forgot, it's like 17 or 20 functional medicine practitioners and discovered that he had a mold infection.
Wow.
And he had the 2 copies of the MTHFR gene mutation.
Yes.
Means he's deficient in his detoxification.
It's very new that that's being discovered and coming out, and that's causing
Yeah.
anxiety. Yes, I've seen the research.
But back then, one of the doctors had given me liquid iron for his restless leg syndrome.
gosh,
So now
yes.
had I taken the liquid iron, that would have been poison for his MTHFR gene mutation.
Wow.
So it would have gone and made him autistic
Yep.
because heavy metal concentration would have just completely taken him a different route.
Yes.
So I'm just so blessed, and I prayed night after night. I'm like, God, I promise you, like, if you just open the doors and help me fix this boy,
Yeah.
I'm going to dedicate the rest of my life to saving everyone else. Like, I'll tell all my neighbors, I'll tell my family, I promise. Like, I'll spread the word of all this health that I didn't even know at that time.
Right.
But it was amazing. I finally met this herbalist. Her name is Nina. And she's this one lady, she's amazing. And she just operates out of her basement. And, you know, she's like, no, I don't have a website. She's, you know, very careful. And she's by referral. She's like, even if I put a website and people find out about me, I don't have the bandwidth to even treat that many people.
Of course.
She has all kinds of really deep cases. So she puts up a protocol for my son. And it looks like this green protocol. It's got chlorella, chlorophyll, like very heavy duty, about 40 small, tiny tinctures mixed in one big concoction. So I started giving to him. In about, I think, a month is when he starts sleeping through the night.
Wow.
Sleeping through the night. Can you believe?
No.
The massive changes. He's smiling. He starts talking. The whole thing changed. The lights went on.
Yes.
And let's not even forget about the mold. Like, I'm like, but where is the mold?
I was just going to ask, did you end up finding what the
It
culprit
was in the HVAC system. HVAC system. So you can imagine, I had about 3 to 4 mold detectives coming in and trying to find out, swabbing the air, swab. Finally, we discovered it was in the HVAC system.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so because the HVACs have to have some sort of a laser, and you know they did the whole thing. So we were living out of a hotel for about 2 to 3 months.
I was going to ask, did you move?
Yeah, no, we had to live outside of the house because it was a full-on remediation. 3 stories, bathrooms went out. You know, the HVAC system. They opened up all the walls. I mean, look, when you discover something and when you know you're onto something, you're gonna go all the way. You're gonna find out, no matter what, you're gonna turn the world upside down to find out how to help your child.
Absolutely.
And we did it, and thank God it worked. And now I'm living my promise to God, and that's how Biohack Yourself was born. That's how the documentary was born. We felt so honored and so lucky. And in fact, the love was the perfect child, health-wise. No problems, slept through the night, like at 6 months old. She didn't care. Like everything was just perfect. She'll sleep in, she'll talk. It was just perfect until she had this lymph node that popped up on her neck. And I was like, what is that? And that came after Legend was already fine.
Yes,
after
I was just going to ask you, I have the mold resolved.
I was still acting and modeling, and the lymph node came when I was 2 years old. I got a fever, and it just came. And my mom got a little bit scared, and she asked some doctors, and they said, oh, it'll go away, it's fine. And I waited a few years. I was 6 years old, and when I got a swimmer's ear in my swimming class, and it was staying there. It was just very tiny. And I got a swimmer's ear, and it just popped like really big. And my mom checked it out, and I remember those pictures. I was only 6, and my mom was like, wow, it actually stayed. So she told Nina, and she was giving us her protocol. We were taking her protocol, and then my mom would ask some doctors, and they would just say, do a biopsy. And I would have gotten my literal neck cut off, like a mini surgery, and it would be so traumatizing for my body. Like, they're cutting, like, imagine if this is your veins, right? And your blood is flowing, right? And then there's this little clump here. And then they just take it out, and there's a scar tissue. And so the blood just stops there, and so it goes in the other blood streams. And what that does to you is it, like, kind of, like, it could cause a lot of...
It hurts the flow.
Yes, absolutely.
That's the thing. Like, that's the first time we started respecting lymphatic system.
Yes.
And why is she stagnant? What is happening now? And I was like, finally, my husband lost the 125 pounds. He's thriving. My son is thriving. And now my daughter, like...
Where's my break?
I know, where's the break? But, you know, ultimately, we ended up learning.
Absolutely.
We kept going in the Biohack Yourself documentary as we started filming it.
Incredible.
I knew I had to keep going and keep going, keep finding more experts and keep interviewing. And go figure that the last interview, the 114th person, David Perez, was the one that was able to remedy her lymph node.
What was it?
It was just lymphatic stagnation, but through hydrogen baths, oxygen baths, and red light therapy combined, in 7 days, it was gone. The 114th person,
crazy.
which is how Biohack Yourself documentary turned into a 5-part documentary, because I was a mother on a mission to find a solution for this lymph node. I was like, there's no way I'm doing a biopsy.
Yeah. Well,
And
there's, they say, I mean,
Yeah.
a mother who's taking care of their kids, mama bear comes out, you're never going to stop.
Exactly.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Probably the best.
But it was scary.
The best way.
It was scary.
Yes.
I took her to hospitals also. Like I reverted back to, okay, well, let me go to
Just in
the
case.
institutions
Right.
and see if they can scan it or ultrasound and see what it is. And I mean, they come up with words that will turn you upside down.
Yes.
I don't want to say the C word, but
Right.
they just say it right in your face.
Oh,
like, oh, this could turn
100%.
into
Yep.
a C word. You
Yep.
know, you have to like do a biopsy because you're risking your child's life.
What's the C word?
It's okay. I don't want to.
Thank goodness it wasn't that.
Yes.
For another time.
C word, cat, you know, like C word, cat. Cocoon.
But I can only imagine. I mean, I used to be someone who suffered from ear infections and swimmer's ear all the time. So I know the pain.
Wow.
And it's funny because if you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah.
And I think now in this day and age, you know, we have these influencers and we're finding out now, wow, red light therapy and all this stuff. But we should have been doing it the whole time.
Yeah.
And then you have to find out in a way that there was like a medical concern to know that we have all of these incredible
Yeah, I
things
available
available to us.
One time, like when I was 6 years old and I got the swimmer's ear, like the next day it got really bad and it was like, it was kind of like I wasn't working and it was annoying me and it was really big and I was getting super creeped out.
Yes.
I have this thing for like things like that and it was just like,
Right.
and so I went to the
it's
emergency room when it
Yeah,
got
we
really
went to the
bad
emergency room.
and they said we can do surgery.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
But
right
can you
away, they kept
imagine
on
what
pushing.
happens to them in their mind? They start feeling unsafe.
Absolutely.
And they're like, Mom, Dad, like I trust you guys. What are you gonna do about it? Right? They look at you.
Yes.
And this is what I want, you know, most moms to understand how important it is. You are the RFK Jr. of your family.
Yes.
By all means.
Yes.
You have this feminine power, the intuition. For a reason.
It's real.
Listen to it. Push forward. If you feel like something is wrong, don't listen to one answer or 5. Go all the way. I mean, took us
1,000%.
17 doctors
Yes.
to find Legend's diagnosis, the correct way, the mold infection.
Your persistence
Yeah.
is so incredible because, I mean, I remember as a mom being exhausted. I can only imagine that you have, you know, your perfect dynamic and my perfect child, and then the bubble bursts. And it's, I mean, again, not sleeping, not only for him, but for you. Postpartum, I mean, and then going down the rabbit hole, my son is sick. I can only imagine what that was like.
Well, let me add on that, right? Postpartum, add the not sleeping. I actually fell into an autoimmune condition.
Oh my
I
gosh.
started breaking out in eczema, rashes, and I still have the biopsy on my arm. I did the biopsy on my arm.
Okay.
Because there was just this unknown rashes that were coming onto me, very itchy, and then going back.
Yes.
My mom was convinced that I have like big parasites living inside of me. They're gonna eat, they're gonna eat your liver. And it was very crazy. I mean, the times that we've gone through, but at every moment I honed into God, prayers, and somehow I knew if I just keep going, I'm gonna find the answer.
Yes.
And that's what Biohack Yourself Media continues to do. Because
amazing.
even after Biohack Yourself documentaries were filmed and produced, we realized how little did we find out. So we continue to make more documentaries. We have the magazine that continues to bring amazing experts, amazing doctors, amazing products to light. We do the vetting for you.
Amazing.
So my husband and I, we sat down, we said, how can we simplify health for the everyday person?
Yes.
Let's speak the love language.
And then by us, they said, all right, how can, like, just like you said, how can we speak the love language of younger people also?
Yes.
So we said, Mom, Dad, let us in. And we just went in.
I love
And now
that.
we started Biohack Yourself Kids, Biohack Yourself Glasses. We started Biohack Yourself Media, and we're doing journalism for it and interviewing big names to help my generation, because I was like about 6 or 7 years old, and I Googled up what's my generation going through, and it said, your generation is the sickest one yet. And I was like, what?
Sad,
She's like, that's
I was
sad
like,
but true.
I'm the
Yes.
healthiest one in the whole entire Generation Alpha. This is not fair.
Yes.
And you
I need
weren't
to-
always. And you went through your
Yeah.
battle. And
I
you
said-
healed yourself. So
I
she
said-
was like, I'm going to shout
I
this from
said
the
to
rooftop.
myself, I said to myself, I went through health issues. I fixed everything, but why is my generation still sick?
Yeah.
Like, it was just like kind of confusing to me. And at that point, I was like, that's it. I'm joining Biohack Yourself documentary, everything. And that's how they made Shield. And they said, how about we make this about a girl going through stages, being a mom, being like everything.
Yeah, seasons,
The
right? You talk about the
seasons,
seasons.
yes.
So when we produced the Shield documentary, after Biohack Yourself documentary, we realized we didn't learn much about female health.
Yes.
And
It was about like me meeting my older selves. Like I was going through a journey.
It was
I was
perfect
asking
to bring
what
her
a
on
period
board.
was.
Incredible.
And
trained
then-
actor.
Yes.
Somebody that's gone through a health journey.
Yep.
Somebody that's watching her mother go through all these stages, all these discoveries.
Yes.
So we casted her as the lead, as the hero's journey for a
I
Shield
had a
documentary.
20-year-old self, then I had a 40-year-old self, then I had a 6-year-old self.
Yeah.
And I
She
was
got
just
to meet all her
yeah.
potential future selves.
And I was just sitting down and having normal talks with them, like, and it was so cool to see like how this is
How
a
do you go
potential.
through menopause?
Yeah, how would
Yes.
I look like when I grow up, and how I was actually learning myself.
Yes.
As my generation was learning, I was learning too.
Yeah.
That's
and she
incredible.
now actually takes full responsibility for her health.
That's amazing.
Like she'll go to restaurants and I'm not worried about what she's gonna order. She takes the
Yes,
adult menu
yes.
because we don't order from the children.
Right.
They
mean,
would
why-
always give us the kids menu, and I
Yeah.
would see like only like rare restaurants would do asparagus for kids menu and like rice and healthy stuff.
Yeah.
But all the other restaurants, all I would look on is for food, chicken tenders, spaghetti, or
Isn't that
pizza.
Mac and
Yes.
cheese.
Mac and cheese,
Or
French
burgers.
fries.
and
Yeah, French
burgers
fries.
and French fries.
Yep.
And then for drinks, they would give kids Coca-Cola, orange juice, apple juice, fake dye in there. Then for the dessert, vanilla ice.
Of course.
That's it.
What do you order? Give us an order that you.
And I would go to the server and say, "Can I have the grown-ups menu?" And they would give me it. They would say, "Oh, okay." They would look at me and like, "What?" Yeah. Or I would just share for my mom's menu.
That's amazing.
And I would usually order the side of asparagus, the mushrooms, the rice and beans, the healthy stuff.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
water. She
And water.
only always drinks
And they
a
would
glass
say,
of-
they would give my parents the glass cups, and then they
Yes.
would give the kids the plastic cups, and
Right.
I would say, "Can I have a glass cup?" Like, what kind of a service is this for the kids? Like, you're just
Right.
trying to making the kids unhealthy. Like, everything good for
Yeah.
like the grown-ups, because you can't do anything about it. The grown-ups are already healthy, so let's just serve everything to the kids.
Right.
And I was like, let me get a glass cup, and I was like, give me it. And they were just they sometimes they would
She
pretend
knows.
not to
She
listen
knows what
to
she
me.
wants.
They would
She's
Love it.
amazing.
Yeah, sometimes they would
beautiful.
pretend not to listen to me.
I mean, it's so many
Yeah.
layers. I'm like thinking about it as a mom. So
Yeah.
there's like the fear that, my kid's gonna break a glass.
Mm.
But there's not this fear of, well, why are they drinking from plastic and what is that doing to the body?
Yeah.
But there's also we don't know.
Yeah.
So you have all of these learning. I think it's incredible. I'll back up a little. Were you always into health beforehand? Like, did you, because I wasn't, for example, and I had to learn, I'm just still
would-
changing to my glass containers, just like you said. Did you already have that knowledge and know, or was that something also that you were like, wow, now I learned this and now I'm making the changes, or
Yeah.
you had that foresight?
So the thing is, I grew up super, super healthy and health conscious. However, when I was growing up, where I was growing up, which is in Armenia, we had no unhealthy options. So it was
That's
never
true.
like intentionally putting the focus on, oh, you can't drink from the
Yes.
plastic bottle. There was no plastic.
Yes.
You drank from the fountain on the street,
Yes. What a good
There was
point.
no worry about the fluoride, etc. But I know what real water, real food tastes like.
Child also, like, you're not supposed to be served mac and cheese with cranberry juice in plastic cups. Like,
Right.
you're a child.
What she does understand is that your health is your responsibility.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
And so when I saw that was instilled, my peace of mind came to me because
Incredible.
I watch her all the time
Yeah.
making her choices. Does she make mistakes sometimes and, go for that applesauce from
Right.
grandma's fridge?
Yes.
She does, but then I'll be like, hey, so how did you feel about that? Were you proud of that moment as you were stuffing it into your face? She's like, maybe not so much. It tasted so delicious. I'm like, but you know the alternative, right?
Right.
It's
You have real
rotten apples.
Those are rotten apples, but you have real apples.
Yeah.
You can actually blend
Yes.
yourself and make your own applesauce.
Yes.
And
So
my
she now
grandpa
does it
made
on
my
her own.
applesauce, and I was
Yeah.
like way better. And it would just be like they would say on the cover apples and cinnamon.
Yes.
But it would take
the
the ingredients
citric
it
acid,
would put
going
so
back to
much
bread.
more. But you know
Yeah.
what? You can make the natural version. All you need to
Absolutely.
put is apples and cinnamon and grind it.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
just make it natural. There's no need to put colors.
100%. 100%. I agree. In my house, we started doing bananas and cinnamon.
Yeah.
Or, we order the fresh bread that is just flour and water
Yeah.
and some oil because we're reading and it's beautiful because we slowly instilled that. And I
Yeah.
see it, you've seen it and moms are seeing it. Our children get our example.
Yeah.
What are we doing? How are we doing? And talking, we do with our son, have a little bit of protein and explaining, this is good for your body and this is how it manifests energy and food is
Yeah.
energy. Because you're right. Thinking about it in culture, in America, it's just food. We eat food and it's fun and it's this color and
Yeah.
it tastes like this and how does it taste good and,
Yeah.
whatever to make the kids behave, right?
Sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
in
they
all
would,
honesty,
when the kids were crying, they would just say, "Here, eat this Snickers bar, and you'll be happy."
Absolutely.
but then you're just making things worse.
Absolutely.
And so to go back to your question, right? When I moved to the States, of course, like I said, I never intentionally put emphasis in being healthy, eating healthy. It just wasn't
It
there
just
anymore.
was.
It was like in America, it was not there anymore,
Yes.
right? Like my mom wasn't cooking
Right.
all of a sudden. Like I wasn't eating home cooked meals. So I did notice my health kind of like shifting. And so after having Legend,
Yes.
everything hit at once. The
Yes.
autoimmune, the eczema, and all these things. And I bet that Legend's condition was associated a lot with what I was eating in the States. In fact, he was glyphosate toxic because I was eating so many salads and broccolis in the restaurant thinking I'm doing the right thing.
Right.
But living the right way in the States was completely wrong.
Unbelievable.
So I had to relearn everything.
Yes.
Because in this culture, in this country right now, and maybe in other countries too, I don't know, but everything is against you as
Yes.
a parent. I feel like I have to be a detective
Yep.
every single minute of my life, a referee, and like I'm in a battle. I have like fight or flight for my children
Absolutely.
every single second. What are they listening to? What are they watching?
Always.
Who are they talking to? What are they eating? What are they breathing? What are they drinking?
Yep.
Right? So like once you start
Because
learning
everything
everything,
is unsafe. That's why moms are so paranoid, and they're like because they
Your mom.
they yeah.
your mom is
Well, you know what? A good mom
Yeah.
will do the same.
Yeah.
And start thinking about what am I doing? Where are we? What are we ingesting? The scary part is, and especially in America,
Yeah.
as an American, I'm starting to see on TV, well, without this. So why was it there? Why are we now coming to this place where we're health conscious and added all of these things that we're now taking out?
Yeah.
Which I'm sure they always knew was not meant for human
Like
consumption.
it's like tricking you, like saying they're giving you all the unhealthy stuff, and then the good side comes in and tells you everything good and tells you everything that is bad, and then you're like, wait, why didn't you tell me this earlier?
That's right. That's exactly what it is.
well, whatever it was, right? Things got to a wrong path.
Yes.
But what it is to understand right now, everything is in your path,
Absolutely.
in your child's path.
Yep.
And I'm not saying it from a paranoid perspective. I was paranoid for a long time until I was able to sit down with the leading experts in the documentaries, in the magazine cover shoots, like really interview the top experts.
Incredible.
To really get to the bottom. Now I understand everything. We understand the root causes, the core values. So now that you teach your children and they start making those choices, now you can actually rest.
Yes.
But until then, you really are fighting for your children's health.
Absolutely.
Everything from snacks, packaged food, the children, like her classmates used to.
Yeah. I can tell you everything.
Yuck your yum? What do you say that?
Like my teachers made up this thing, don't yuck people's yum.
I love
and
that.
that's exactly what my classmates were doing.
Yes.
Like as if the yummy stuff were the unhealthy stuff.
Yes.
Basically, they would eat like acai, candies, Snickers bar,
Goldfish,
and like
the favorite.
goldfish.
Yes.
The
Yes.
favorite, but causing people to go to hospitals and be paralyzed, and pirate booty, whatever, the weird names.
Just packaged
packaged,
stuff,
old
not real
packaged
food.
foods. Like for lunch, they would have old packaged foods.
Right.
Like
She
I
would
was
be
like,
there
what type of
eating
a
her
lunch is that? And I would eat
and
onions,
olives
carrots,
and pickles.
pickles, and I would say, and like it would be like the famous thing, like the kid would open up their lunchbox, sit next to the girls, and say, "Oh my God, my mom packed me candy," and everyone would be all over you. I would be like, "Ugh, what is going on?" The popular kids should be eating the healthiest.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it really goes back to what we know.
Yeah.
Because that's all you mentioned it. It's all over TV.
And that was-
it's beautiful colors. It's you know, it's exciting and ooh and that's how they interpret love.
Yeah.
Food gives love, like your name. Food is nurturing everything, you know, especially in most cultures. You want to sit at the table, you want to have a nice meal, and you want to feel good about what's going in your body because you actually feel good. And so I heard you say that, asking her, I think that's so, because you're so intuitive, how did that food make you feel?
Yeah.
And I think that is the shift that we all need to do and explain to our kids. Why am I asking you to do this?
Yeah.
How can you think about it in a way where this equals this? Because that's how children learn as well. And I think that's so beautiful that you were so open to it. And I bet all the confidence that she had from being a child actress, well, this
Sure.
is what I'm eating.
That's right.
And I love that you were able to keep that and hold that.
For a minute, I love school. I love having friends. And from growing up with confidence, I wanted everyone to be all over me, and that was
Yes.
my mindset. And that was not happening by how my lunch was, like pickles.
What an
quinoa,
interesting insight,
and,
yes.
Yeah, and I was just looking at them and I was like, oh, candy makes you popular and people are all over you. So at one stage, I started going to my mom. I was like, Mom, can you just let me eat like a sandwich or like, you know, buy me this pirate booty or goldfish.
Wanting
candy.
to fit in.
Yeah.
And my mom refused. My mom said, no, why? Don't do that. And my mom let me try once. And I came back and my mom said, how did you feel? I said, my tummy hurts.
Yes.
I was like, how do they survive this? And the next time I said it, my mom said, no, see how you felt when I let you try it? And then she would teach me how to talk to my classmates, say, and my mom would say, just tell your classmates, this is what I eat and it's healthier than what you eat.
Right.
Like
Absolutely.
stand up to yourself.
Absolutely. I love that. And you're teaching advocacy on so many levels.
Yeah.
And so tell me now, are you still in school?
Well, I homeschool, but I have gone to 5 different types of schools, like Montessori. I homeschooled before a little bit. Then I went to public school, Orthodox, private. Now I'm homeschooling again, and I'm going to go back to school, just pop in and pop out.
I love that.
No need for college.
Girl, if you got it, I mean, you're already on that entrepreneur road. You're already in the media. You've got incredible role models. I mean, I think the beauty, what I love, and for those that are watching, but like the energy in the room, it's just genuine. And I think that especially, and I wonder, I guess you can tell me, because you have culture outside of America. I'm American, like my husband comes from another country. There's, you know, other culture there, but I never think of these things. We think of the system. We go to the doctor, we, you know, stay in school, and we follow the path and like don't really question
Yeah.
until we're a parent.
Yes.
And then we go through the struggles of, is this the right placement? Exactly, what Love just mentioned, is my kid fitting in? Are they happy? God forbid, bullied. But now we have social media and cyberbullying and all the layers.
And you can't just cover up for your child and just say, okay, I'll pack you unhealthy food so you can fit in.
100%. But that's a good mom.
You can't just, and also you can't give in.
Yes.
And you also can't just say, no, go, and I'll pack you healthy foods and let your kid get bullied. You say, I'm not going to pack you food. You sit down with them and you say, I'm not going to pack you unhealthy foods. But they're eating cancer-causing foods. So
That's
you
right.
can actually talk to your classmates and inform them, and that makes your kid feel powerful. That made me feel powerful.
I love that.
And that makes your kid feel powerful and feel like I am doing the right thing. And not just they're doing the wrong thing, but I can teach them. And then you make your child feel like you're informing everyone, you're
Yes.
teaching everyone, you're being the good one.
Yes.
And
We
that's
do some
just how,
exercises sometimes. She'd look in the mirror.
Yes.
And I stand there and I'm like, okay, so let's imagine you're 30. Talk to your 30-year-old
love
self.
that.
What?
I'm going to do this.
What, right? So you're responsible for that girl.
Correct.
That girl is going to look back and say, why did you do this? Why did you sneak sugar or whatever, or watch screen, wasted your time,
There
right?
even was a scene in Shield actually where like she was like, and stop eating those packaged foods and everything.
We added a little
That's
joke in there.
that's not
Yeah.
helping my cramps. And
Yes.
at
Because
that
she
moment,
knows she's gonna go through puberty and she's gonna have cramps.
I actually gave
Absolutely.
into it. I was like, oh my God. And she's not my real older self, but it was like meeting my older self.
Yes.
And seeing her complain about what I'm
choices.
gonna do. So,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, no more. And now I'm going, and
incredible.
now every year I do a detox, a month, like 2-month detox where I go off of gluten and dairy, and
Okay.
then I
And
can go
sugar.
once in a while, and sugar.
Completely
and
off.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And screen. We do 1 month off,
So
1 week
good.
on.
That's so good.
I mean, everything that's bad, right? Like I have a
Yes.
whole list. I'm like, okay, what's bad? What's after my kids? Okay, we're gonna make sure we give them a tidbit of that.
Yes.
So they can experience normalcy.
Correct.
Like a U.S. normalcy. But
That's
we're
the-
mainly gonna be not doing
Right,
that.
and that's the message. That's
Yeah.
the point. U.S. normalcy. But it's twofold. Why did we make that normal?
Right.
Right? There's that question.
Yeah.
But I just love the setting of the example. And I want to ask Love 2 questions. What has been your favorite school setting?
Well, definitely my least favorite, and every kid knows here, public school.
Okay.
That was my least favorite, yes.
I mean,
But my most favorite school setting was private school, and I wouldn't say all of them are the worst, but I love private school because the teachers were actually paying attention to me and kind of giving me more individual and saying, like going around to the classmates saying, how did you do? How did you do?
I love that.
And in my public school, there was none of that. There was all like
Unfortunately, that's
scattered
the
around,
truth.
and
Yeah.
there would be some autistic kids, like 3 autistic kids, and like the teachers wouldn't pay attention to us, and they would have to pay attention to all the other kids who were just constantly like
That's the
moving
truth.
around
Behavioral
and
issues.
Yes.
and they were just
Yeah.
making the teacher stressed out, and there would be like kids punching each other, and the teacher like wouldn't notice because you can't like notice because why would you care?
Right. And that's
Like
the
it's
truth.
too much. And I was
The class
like,
ratio, the attention, the involvement you get to have in my kids go to private school as well. And it's all of those things.
Yeah.
The communication, the authority that you're able to have in school is so different. I love that insight, Love. Thank you.
yes, you're
And then another question for you, kind of touched upon it, but I'd love to know, you mentioned that you felt different, but how did that help you? Because I see it. And how did that help you reach out? I mean, you're doing speeches now and you're talking, like I can see the passion. Where if you remember, was that switch for you where you're like, you know what? I don't care about these kids. This is who I am. This is what I'm eating. This is what makes me healthy. This helped my brother, and this is me.
Well, it was it for like I there was never no switch. My mom would always teach me, so it was always.
Yes.
Fundamental.
And when I would teach my classmates to eat healthier, then I would see some changes. Like sometimes they would bring apples or bananas, mandarins.
They would actually try to eat her snacks.
Yeah, they
So
would.
she would come home and tell me like
And then
half
they
of
would
this
start
was
opening-
Maya or whatever.
Yeah, they would start opening up to me. They would say, I love cucumbers. Can I have one? And
How
they would start
incredible.
opening up and saying that they love cucumbers. And then I would see some kids say, ew, I got pirate booty. They would be tired of unhealthy snacks.
I would actually be
constantly
packing
eating
double,
them.
triple
I was
sometimes for
gonna
her
say,
veggies.
how incredible.
Because I knew
they
some
would
of the friends
share.
would,
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, like changing your lives, your
My
kids'
mom
lives,
was in
other
it too.
people's
My
lives.
mom was like, sure, give your kids healthy foods because
Amazing.
I understand that they're getting tired of all these unhealthy foods. And
But
they would-
honestly, like staying committed to health,
Yes.
it is a full-time job. Like
Oh,
sometimes
yes.
it does get tiring, right?
Yes.
And the research out of all is the most exhausting
Yes.
because you never know when you're done with researching and finding out. Even being the co-founder of Biohack Yourself Media,
Right.
even at being at the forefront and interviewing experts and having the magazine, we still know there's more.
Yes.
There's more. But here's what we find comfort in.
Yeah.
We know that we understand the maximum amount at this current point
Yes.
for our health and our longevity. Whatever we learn, we pass it on to the children right away because
Yes.
they're better advocates and they hold us accountable.
They do.
So like my main thing to parents is bring them to your journeys. I see a lot of the biohacking conferences, there's no kids.
That's a great
There's
point.
not a lot of kids.
Yes.
We're always with our kids. So
Amazing.
people
And
see
they're
us
sponges.
as the Lolli family.
Yes.
Like we're always in
And
you know,
now
in the
I'm
quad.
now I'm seeing more kids at conferences. Like we used to be the only ones with kids, and there used to be, wow, they have kids. But now
More
it's
and more,
becoming a norm.
I love that.
People are
Yeah.
bringing their kids. They're trying modalities with their daughters, their sons. They're
love
having
that.
and my brother brings in some boys and men to do push-up contests, and that's how like a lot of more people come in, and that's how it all grew, and now it's growing and growing and growing. And I'm saying we're not the only ones who started that. Like you can start it too. Like if you're from different countries and you can start something where you start bringing your kids into health.
Yeah,
It's so
and
important.
that's most important, right? Because when you know what to do for your own health, don't you feel more powerful and sure about your life and your choices?
Well, yes, I feel super sure, and I feel like, wow, I'm gonna pick my choice, and I wake up and I choose to do what I choose to eat a healthy breakfast. I choose to biohack. I choose to play who I want to play with. And
Very important.
yeah, that gave me a lot of power because my mom always trusted me and my brother in everything. Like she would say, go on. And if we made wrong choices, she would just talk to us and say, I mean, it's your choice. Do it if you want to do it. But I assure you, there's going to be great consequences
Right.
that your body's going to give you.
And that's another thing in our house. We don't say do this because I said so.
Yes.
Right? Okay, so
I said so makes the kids feel less
Resentment.
less
Yes.
powerful.
It's what did
resentment.
you learn
like,
from this?
Why you're
Exactly.
telling me to not do this and not telling me why? Like that would give
Yeah.
the kids saying like, my parents don't trust me. Like
right.
I
My
mean-
parents don't trust me. And then they start rebelling against you.
Correct.
Therefore, even if they know that this is good for them, they will not eat it or make good choices because now they don't want to be doing what you told them to do.
Yes.
Because they don't want to be told. They want to make the choices. So, I mean, from a young age, the moment this baby comes to world, you're holding that baby, you have to understand you're raising a human being.
Yes.
An adult.
The
from
future
that
generation.
moment on. Yes.
Absolutely.
And if you want to have a peaceful life after 18 or 20 years, right?
Yes.
You want your child to go out in the world and be producing, be intelligent, trustworthy, because one day that child is also going to be taking care of your own health, right?
That's right.
Also. So how are you
And one
raising
day,
them and prepping
taking
them
care
for
of
life?
their own creation's health.
Exactly.
That's right. I'm like, she's ready.
She just came up to us and she said, Mom and Dad, I want 2 more siblings. And by the way, you don't have to do a thing.
Right.
Just
I
nurse
see
the
it.
baby.
I
I'll
see
take
it.
care of them. I'll raise them healthier. I'll raise
Incredible.
them with all the values.
And-
biohackers from the get-go. I got it.
And I said, if not, then buy me a cute little baby kitten, cute little baby puppies, so I could nurture them. If not, I want a little birdie.
I mean, that's a
or-
great
She's in
compromise.
a
or
very
all of it,
nurturing
all of it,
mood right now.
All of it.
Love that.
Yeah.
You know what's
And-
the most beautiful thing about this podcast and what I love? I talk to parents all the time. So I'm a behavior analyst.
Ah.
And so what that means is I literally study the behavior of children. What did they do and why? So listening to you is literally the principle of everything I do. But hearing it from your mouth is like a light bulb, a switch. Like I want to package what all parents know, but you represent. And I give it to you, to your husband, but I'm sure, legend, incredible as well. But love, like the intuition.
Like, it's not just taking advice from parents. You can also take
It's
advice
so
from their
important.
creations to see the 2 point of views, put them together, and
That's
spread
right.
the word.
That's right. I mean, this is so beautiful, so enlightening because that's exactly what it is. And it's so funny because it's so different explaining it. And I'm sure you've had this. Like you just said, you articulated it beautifully that, I have to show them or do, but no, they're learning. And then you are able to say, well, I know why my mom didn't want me to do that. And a lot of kids, like you said, don't have that. And it was just a rule that I followed. It was just, what I was told, or that's just, how it is. But then you're not giving that critical thinking opportunity.
Yeah.
You're not giving that life feedback. Like you said, you are letting them try it, but what did you learn? How did you feel? What would you do differently?
Yeah.
Like that insight at
Yeah.
such a young age is so important. And I have a 6 and 3-year-old, and my 3-year-old, I'm learning through him that patience and those moments where I see him looking and kind of processing. And I agree with exactly how you raise your children. Explain to them. They do understand.
Yeah.
And again, the beauty of having you, Love, is I get to show everyone that, it doesn't matter the age you're learning from. 12 weeks, 2 weeks, doesn't matter. 6, 8, 9. And you take it all in, and then you give it back out.
Yeah, and I don't want to just pretend and say all these good stuff just for the kids. I want to tell the truth and tell how sometimes I can make mistakes, but I fix them
I love that.
without getting told what to do. Like,
She did that one time. She was on stage. I think it was the Maha Bowl, and then we went out to dinner, and she's like, "Oh, can I have dessert?" And then as she's like eating, she's like, I'm being a total hypocrite right now because I advocate for no sugar and healthy eating, and here I am stuffing my face. It's so cute to watch her catch herself and then say, that's okay. It's like, let me finish my mistake. And, from tomorrow I'm going on a sugar-free diet. But also to understand, like, I can have balance.
Yes.
As long as I'm not overdoing one way or another one. That's another thing.
also not just to name yourself a hypocrite all the time and say, oh my God, I'm a hypocrite. And keep on
Because
eating
you
it.
have
Being
to
gentle with
fix
yourself.
it. Yeah.
You have to
Yes.
fix yourself and say, all right, just once in a while, and next time I'll just eat a small portion.
And then she makes a
That's why
decision,
we do
and she
one
sticks
time
with
a
that.
month.
It's all
Yeah.
feedback. And I guess
Yeah.
I hear that in like the biohacking and the feedback and what works and doesn't work and how you feel. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful to like watch this dynamic and the insight, because I think it is that. It's children being able to identify that, know. But I love that word that you use, because I was going to ask you that. How do you feel that I question for both of you, foster that balance between the intelligence, the learning, and being a child?
Yeah, we write a lot.
Okay.
We write our goals a lot of the time, and we want to prioritize what it is that we want in a perfect, magical world. Just recently for New Year's Eve, every New Year's Eve we do this, we sit down and we write all of her accomplishments, let's say, right? What did you accomplish last year? How did that feel? You know, where did that take you? What did I give you for your life? And so she wrote and wrote and wrote.
That's beautiful.
And we went through my photo gallery. We were scrolling down. We're like, oh, and you did this. Oh, and you did this.
I
She's
love
like,
that.
she looked back. She's like, wow, Mom, I had a successful year. Okay, I was like, okay, now we're going to
Incredible.
write about the next year, right?
Yes.
So the way we maintain balance is we write our ideal life, our ideal goal, our ideal eating habits, you know, fitness goals, etc. And we know how much room do we have for not cheating, but for alternative ways
Yes.
of, you know, if you do want to go have an ice cream,
Right.
how many times a month can you do it?
Beautiful.
When you commit to that,
Yeah.
and then once you commit to all of your goals, all of your routines, then you have to have integrity.
Yes.
And the way you have integrity is that you know that your soul and God are always watching you.
Yes.
Even if mommy's not watching you, daddy's not watching you, you know, nobody's catching you on sneaking a candy. You're listening, legend? Your soul and God are always watching you.
Yes.
And if you go against your integrity as a child, you're allowing your soul to be depleted. I always tell them your soul gets so sad and so unworthy because you're
why
doing
are you
things
going
he doesn't
against-
want.
Yes.
So you want that soul bird that's
Absolutely.
right there to feel
Right.
powerful, this white
Yes.
bird sitting there happy, guiding you for what you
Beautiful.
came to this earth for.
Right.
So it's always important to teach kids integrity. I think that is the foundation
agree.
of everything. Honesty, integrity, for love. I told her if I was to like write, what is that when, if you're in a vegetable state, then who do you trust to make a decision on your life?
Yes, a will.
A will, or there was something else.
Power of attorney?
Power of attorney.
Yes.
I can put her as a power of attorney.
100%. I see it.
I can trust her with my life at this age,
Incredible.
at 9 years old. Even finances, banking. Like I could give her my bank card and I
Yes.
know she's gonna make wise choices.
Yes.
I've even taught them business. In homeschooling, we prioritize nutrition,
incredible.
I would always
exercise,
have integrity.
and
like,
business.
When I would do something that my soul would feel a little bit sad about, my soul would say, "Go tell mom what you did and say sorry." And so I would
That's
go,
real intuition.
And
Yeah.
I would go and I would not just shut down and say it's fine. It's just keep on going.
Yeah.
Anytime I would like do stuff that my mom shouldn't tell me to do, I would. One time, like my soul would stay and then remind me, and I would be like, it would pop up and I would be like, oh my gosh, I would turn it off right away, and I would say, Mom, I was watching this, and sometimes my mom just says, okay, because my mom lets it go and
Yeah.
knows that I'm never gonna do it again, and I'm only gonna do it when my mom says so. Like
Amazing.
says, okay, you can do it, and my mom just says, all right, and kisses me on the head, and because she trusts me, and
I do. And that's like so instrumental too
Yes.
for a parent and child
Yes.
relationship to build that trust.
It's a safety.
The honesty, the
Yep.
safety, the trust, and to continue on the balance thing, right? I feel like for our family, balance is scheduled.
I love that.
You know, you don't just wing balance.
Yes.
You cannot.
Correct.
Especially if you're trying to achieve things, right? Sure, you can have balance if you have more of a regular schedule of, you know, school and work, etc. But even then, you could find yourself overwhelmed. So I think when I say balance, I mean a very healthy understanding of what do you want to accomplish this year? Where are you headed? What is your day-to-day looking like? When can you afford to chill out?
I love that.
And when you're chilling out, you know you're in that balance, right? So understanding, planning has definitely changed everything for us. And they
Incredible.
feel balanced too. I mean,
Yes.
they're on stages, they're doing mature work, they're on movies. Sometimes 10 hours a day they'll be on a set.
Wow.
But they understand they're having balance because they
Yes.
know next week they're going to play for 10, 14
yeah, like
hours
today
a day.
I was like, today, like a few days ago, I had an award, and today I was like, oh my God, Mom, I have a podcast and a speech.
Yeah.
And I was like, my
Like,
mind
come
was
on,
blown.
we just
I was
came
like,
back.
I was
I
like,
wanted a rest day today, right? For example, I was like,
Yes.
good. So now we're going to do today.
and my
It's
mom
not-
said, you know what? The whole month you have off. I was like,
right. So again, we plan
might as well
our
just go and do it.
balance.
Might as well just go and get it done. Show my alpha generation all my knowledge and
That's right, love.
Lean back.
Yes, girl.
Yeah.
I love
You're
that.
funny. Yeah.
Love, I have another question for you. Because it's so funny, and me in my adult age, I always think back to my younger age. How was it for you meeting your older versions, and which one was your favorite?
My favorite was my 6-year-old self.
I love that. Okay, so your younger self. Tell me why.
Your 60-year-old self?
60 or 6, I'm sorry.
6 or 60?
60-year-old.
Oh.
Yeah.
You liked meeting the menopause version, the 60 version?
Because it was very calm, and I was realizing that my older self liked tea and liked to sit outside in a warm environment.
You're a
And
beautiful
I was
old
like,
soul. I
didn't
love
know that.
it.
That's a good question. I didn't ask her that.
I was like, wow, like I'm gonna be very relaxed. And I saw she was really young, by the way. And I was like, wow,
Because
I
of all
look
the health
I
conscious
look
thing.
like I'm still going through my
Incredible.
I was going through. I'm still going through my 40s, and I was like, are you 40 or are you 60? Like what?
I look good.
Yeah, I was like, and I had natural gray hair, and it's not bad to hide your gray hair. Like
No,
some
embrace.
grandmas have gray hair, and they always dye their hair and make it blonde and brown. And anytime someone says you're growing gray hair, they always go back and dye it. And you know what? It actually looks so good when you have
love
like
that for you.
natural gray hair, and it's just
Yes.
luscious and it's going. And you know, we casted her, and she actually had the natural gray hair, and that made I was like, I'm gonna be natural.
Amazing. Who chose? Did you give Love the opportunity to meet the women and say like, yes, that's me, or how was that chosen?
Yeah,
Well, we were going online,
we slimmed
and
down.
yeah, and a lot
the
of people
choices.
were taking pictures for their casting, and a lot of people were wanting to go on the documentary. So I kept on looking, and I said, no, that's not really me.
I love
Wait,
that.
that's
Yeah,
me.
she was an active
And-
part of casting her own older
Yes.
versions.
Because you
Yeah, I
must
was like,
learn so
so
much.
And I
She got
treat
to
them really
interview
well.
them.
They look so much
Incredible.
like
I
me.
cannot wait to see the whole thing come together. Oh
Yeah,
my
it's coming
goodness.
out during the Cannes Film Festival.
Oh
we are
my
having a global premiere.
Incredible.
Everyone is flying out to France.
Oh
It's going to
my
be pink
gosh.
carpet,
Yes.
pink luscious
Hey,
carpet,
yes,
pink
you should come
dresses.
with your pink outfit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get my pink
I
outfit.
will wear the brightest, pinkest outfit for you.
I love
Of
it.
course, yes.
I mean, I am pink. I mean,
Yeah, you
Yes.
can tell. Yeah.
I could totally
that
tell.
is,
Yes.
you know what's so beautiful? And I mean, just so warming, because I really do feel like mother to mother, woman to woman, the different seasons. We kind of talked about it a little bit, but there's this new becoming that I'm feeling for women to go back to, you know, what makeup am I using? What the
Yeah.
hormones.
Yeah.
That's a huge, huge thing that I'm even struggling with.
Yeah.
You know, going to doctors that are like, oh, well, I don't know what to test. And what do you want to test? And, you know, those are the questions that are not forthcoming. And I also think that women are tougher to other women. You know, it's always, I find, and maybe you have similar experiences, maybe different, like culturally,
Yeah.
that other women don't always bring other women up.
Yes.
And that's changing. And Love shows me, and it's like a breath of fresh air, because it wasn't like this when I was younger, for sure.
Yeah.
The knowledge that we have, but the ability that you have to embody that and embrace that it's just heartwarming. I mean, there's not even a word, like how incredible the generation is shifting.
Yeah.
And I hope that like other girls, like I see it, I want them
Yeah.
to grow up like this, owning what they're eating and what they're putting in their body, but in confidence, not in shame. I think
Yeah.
that's the clear message that I get from your dynamic, that it wasn't in, you know, oh, and don't wear that and don't look like that
Yeah.
or don't eat this because of this. Nothing to do with weight or image. It's really genuine, like you said, your soul, how you feel, how your hair feels, and your skin and your gut.
And my mom would always like, if I would wear something and she wouldn't like it, like she would look at me and she wouldn't like it, but she would still say, "Do you think that suits you? And do you like it?" And I would be like, "I love it." And even though she like literally
Amazing.
could not like it at all, she would still
Well, let's talk
she would
about the
still
ripped
let me.
jeans. Let's talk
Tell
about
me.
the ripped jeans,
Tell me the
okay?
story.
But I'm
So
a
she
very
got-
good saleswoman, so I
She's
sell
a
her
good
on all of them.
closer. Forget it. She loves debating, and that's
Yes.
the biggest thing in our family. Like,
Amazing.
okay, you want to do something I don't want you to do. Debate it.
Yes.
And if it makes sense, you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Or
Even if
sometimes
I
she would trust my
cringe.
opinion, but I would be like, okay, Mom. So I went to these camps and they would wear like these cool ripped jeans and these like crop top shirts. And
She's
I would
like,
be
Mom, you don't get it. It's the new cool style. It's ripped
I would be
jeans.
like,
That's
Mom,
the style.
I
I'm
would
doing
be like,
it.
Mom, if you
We're
want me
buying
to be, and Mom, if you want me to be a cool teenager, you got to let me wear these stuff.
But then mommy
And-
goes out of her way and does research and discovers that the new cool trend of the girls wearing these hoodies and ripped jeans, it actually leads them to disorganization.
Yes.
Like when you're just
Well, you
walking
could still
around
be organized and wear them.
for a limited amount of
now I
time
go-
for
now
just
I go on
fancy fashion
podcasts.
things.
Amazing,
Okay,
yes.
this is still
Now
an
I go on
ongoing debate,
podcasts.
as you
love
can tell.
it.
Now-
But this shows the reality, and I love this so much, and I thank you both because
Yeah. Now I
everyone
go-
needs to see that. And I
Yeah.
think the more that we can bring light to, there is that balance of
Yeah.
I have an opinion,
Yes.
my mom has an opinion, and that's okay.
And now
But
I
guess
go on
what?
podcasts with Biohack shirt and ripped jeans.
I love it.
But guess what? It's
was
a
like-
trend. We also have learned that whatever is a trend, we go the opposite way.
That's
Because
a
whatever
great
is
piece
trend,
of advice
we don't
also.
know who's doing the marketing,
That's
who's
right.
behind spreading that message.
That's right.
Whoever it is probably has a ton of money to put the marketing dollars behind that trend.
That's
So
right.
if it's a trend, we look the opposite way.
Yeah.
Now, the ripped jeans, it hits you. Got it, girl. Let's buy one pair of this ripped jeans, okay?
Yes.
But if you're gonna do ripped jeans, you're gonna do tight, elegant bun, elegant tight top.
balance,
So we
yes.
can balance the
Yes,
elegance
I love
and the
it.
femininity. And then, yeah, you can go like,
Right.
hip hop style on the
Right.
bottom. And then you're gonna get out of that stage
Right.
because in about 2 months, those jeans are gonna disappear magically, accidentally.
Sure does.
But at least you got it out of your system.
Yes.
Because the kid style, like the kid style, like my age down, is kind of like more like dresses and shorts and tights and everything. And then the teenage style, you go all loose.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah,
when you
with
get
the
to your
hoodies.
20s, you go really tight, loose,
And the
a little
Uggs,
bit.
oh my gosh,
yes.
the
Yeah.
Uggs.
The Ugg phase.
So, but guess what? Guess
Yes.
what? The Uggs is another thing. I was like, what do you want Uggs for? You're
Yep.
in Florida. It's not the most attractive or like,
Yep.
put together thing. It's just not really fashionable. She's like, it's a trend, Mom. Everybody, like, I'm going to get Uggs. Okay, well, let's write 5 things you're going to achieve to get those Uggs. So
Yes.
if there is a thing that she wants and I'm just like, not happening, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to get 5 things for me.
Amazing.
Before she gets what she wants. So we have, pickleball championship.
I love
and
it.
I said you have 10 months ahead of you.
Yes.
Until you get to those Uggs.
Yes.
What are your 5 goals, measurable goals that you're going to achieve? We wrote them down, we printed it out, and it's on her wall. And then the picture of Uggs are there.
It's incredible.
And then we were just in New
like
York.
a vision board.
Vision board, very specific though. You have to be specific, right?
Amazing.
You don't just say, "Oh, get better at pickleball."
Yes.
that means nothing.
Yes.
Okay, win
It's
a
like a
first or
salad.
second place championship at the court, like even the place, the date, the
Yes.
racket
No,
you're
at
playing
first
with,
I was like, Mom,
the skirt you're
let-
wearing.
At first I was like, Mom, I'm just gonna write down win pickleball champion and that's it. And I was getting annoyed. Then my mom was like, No, you gotta write this down and go up here. And there's 10 stages to writing your goals. And
We
at
actually
first
walked
I was like
through
annoyed.
the whole day. You woke up, you're pitting your pink skirt.
And
You're,
I was like-
what color is your racket? Like we literally
It's-
imagined
yes,
everything.
Yes,
And at first-
manifestation.
Totally.
That's the word that comes
Yeah.
up, and that's so beautiful that you
Yeah.
embrace that. Yes,
And
that's
at
what it
first-
is.
Yeah, and at first I was just like, oh my God. And then one time my mom told me, do you like salads? I was like, yes. I was like, what does this have to do with goals? She was like, imagine if I just put an uncut apple, unwashed, uncut apple. I put uncut, unwashed full pepper.
What a great analogy.
And just a cucumber and everything without them cutting up, being washed or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's
They
like a
said,
bowl of
"Here-"
uncut veggies.
Yeah,
and you're like,
I
this
said,
is your salad.
I said, here's your salad. And she's like, that's what just writing down pickleball champion is.
What a
There's
great
no
analogy.
specifics.
Yes.
You have to wash the veggies.
Yes.
You have to cut
The
them nice and
steps,
tiny. You have to mix
absolutely.
it with
Yes.
the oil and the salt. That's how you make your salad.
I love
So
that.
With your goals, you have to also be very particular, very
Yes.
specific. So she's going to get her Uggs because she's going to get to the 5 goals. So
That's
now,
right.
This is how you get the kids to own their
Correct,
day, to
correct.
own their to-do list,
Yes.
to own their
And
daily
it's not
routines.
just a bribe, it's also doing what you wanted. You forget about it, and some kids think of it as a bribe, but then you forget about it when you achieve the goal, and you're like, you don't even remember what your earning is. You just like achieve all your goals, and then your mom just gives you your earning. I'm like, where did I get this from?
Your
What is
values
This
are
is
incredible.
how you set.
Wow.
Yes.
This is how you set them up to be goal-oriented,
Yes.
ambitious. Ambition does not come from within. Like maybe some people comes from within, but I think it's taught.
Yes,
You know,
100%.
and teaching them from a young age with just principles of, oh, you want this? I got you.
Yes.
And you really catch them and you hone into their interests. My son is an easy one. Oh my gosh. You know, can I get video games? Okay. All right. You seem very passionate about this. Now let's talk about your
Sounds
10
familiar.
goals that you will be achieving for that.
Yes.
And then my brother's like, fine, I don't want it. And my mom's like, but let's still do it.
Yes.
Yeah, he'll sometimes he'll be like, yeah, you made that
That's
deal
the easy
so
way, right,
unattractive.
right,
I don't
right.
want that video game. You know what? I could just be bored all day. He's like the best debater ever.
Yeah, and my
He's
mom.
like,
I have one of
and my
those.
mom-
two of those, right?
And my mom would be like, it's fine.
Luke
Let's
is
just
more like
still do
love,
it.
which is so funny. You tell him and
Yeah.
he really internalizes it. And he's the one that will say, well, Mom, I need to have a balanced meal. And he told me something the other day, like, well, I'm eating this because it has calcium in it. And I'm making this choice. And like similarly,
Making choices.
making the choice, understand. But I love that you do that because same with me. I let him dress in green, blue, yellow. And I'm like, great, you look like a traffic light, but I love you. Like, phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know, you pick your battles, I'm
Yeah.
sure. But instilling those values, that's really what it is because, you know, even as adults, and not everyone comes from foundation. And then you end up being an adult who, like you mentioned, has a chaotic mind or doesn't
Yeah.
have, you know, doesn't have that structure. And then you need to learn that structure as such.
As
you
a
know,
grown-up.
A grown-up.
Yeah.
And it is a struggle, a hardship because you are trying to be someone that you weren't and need to be.
Yeah.
As opposed to having
Just
all
being
of that
you.
instilled,
Yeah.
ingrained in you. And it just seems natural.
Talking about the chaos in the mind, so important. Like their rooms are always spotless.
Beautiful.
Spotless. If I walk in and there's something on the floor, I'm like, and she's like, Mom, I've seen it. I'm working on it. This is actually something
Yeah,
I was
and my-
working on.
and my-
I love that.
and my
But it's
mom's
very-
like, always
Yes.
like, my mom's like always like this.
I'm like, love. And I'll go and
She-
audit their
she always
drawers.
gets,
Is
like- But
it
everything
is
folded
important,
properly?
yes, the environment,
She calls
yes.
me OCD, and I'm like, look, you know, call it
And my
OCD,
mom
call
would
it
own
whatever.
it.
It is
OCD
cleanliness.
syndrome.
It is
Yes.
cleanliness.
Yes.
It is respect for your things.
Yes.
When you respect your things and your
Yes.
room and your space, you
Great
respect
values.
you.
Yes.
So those are some of the most important values. Like, and
Absolutely.
that's work, by the way. Didn't just come easy.
No.
You know, I was the one cleaning her room, right? So there
course.
had to be a shift, a moment of shift.
Yes.
Shift when I had to put it on herself. Did she like it? No. There
But
was
you modeled it.
well, you could model it, and then still she can be like, well, you just do it.
That's true.
And then you could just leave it to her, right? There was a moment where I was like, okay, your room is your responsibility now. This is how you're gonna do it. This is how you're gonna do it. And I'm not gonna touch your room. All of a sudden, in 2 months, her room was like chaos, right? So that we've gone through that stage. Then I would go in, we're like, today we're gonna spend on repairing this mess. So she would do it herself. And it's overwhelming for a lot of the kids, right?
is.
But it takes about a year to instill these very, very important habits of
Yeah.
cleanliness, integrity, to-do lists,
Yes.
morning routines, evening routines. We bought this skylight. It's a cool.
I have one.
You have it?
I love it.
Wow, like we were so aligned. Skylight is so cool. You put their to-do list, their tasks.
And and I say it, if it's not in the calendar, it doesn't exist.
Yes.
Because it frees
And
up.
if it is, it's got to get done.
That's right. But it frees up the mind. It gives you a goal.
Yes.
And I love that you said that because one of the biggest skills that I actually teach to a lot of clients is executive functioning. And that's exactly what it is.
Yes.
Where does my stuff go? Alleviates anxiety. There's all of these studies around it. Where does my stuff go?
And my mom is always like, if my mom,
So important.
If my mom put something of my favorite things, like to go buy something for me, and it's on her calendar, she can't refuse it. Like, I would refuse it if it was something like I didn't really like, but it was on my calendar, just say, cancel. But my mom is like, I gotta get it done.
Incredible. That's the integrity.
So she does that. She puts things on my calendar these days.
I love it.
Buy new shoes for love. I'm like, how did this show up here?
Now I have to do this.
Yeah, she's like, Mom, you know, like we talked about this, so
Incredible.
let's go get it done.
And my
But
mom's
it's
like,
such a balance. Like this relationship,
I
is-
can tell. I
it's
can
so
see.
fun if you spend the
Incredible.
time that you spend with them. You talk with them. You bond with them. You teach them values. They love learning values.
They do.
They love implementing them too, and then they hold you accountable.
That's right.
So raise the perfect version of what you think a human being should be.
The better version of you.
The
That's
better
how I
version of
see
you.
it. Yes.
Yeah.
And love
And
said
everybody
two
wins.
things. Not bribery. I think that a lot of people see it that way. It's really a goal. It's you know, teaching the fact of working towards something, or you know, a job. You may not like everything that you're doing, but you want to get that paycheck, for example.
Sure.
It shows that you follow through.
a lot of parents,
Accountability, that's the
responsibility.
word.
A lot of parents, and they're not doing this on purpose. They're just doing it to get their kid to do what's done, and they bribe their kids. They said, okay, do this, and I'll take you to the park, and I'll give you ice cream and candy and whatever. And the kids just feel like, okay, fine, I'll do it. And they do it, and then that they grow up with bribery, and that turns into their relationships, and they do that with their kids and with their relationships.
Incredible
But,
insight,
like when they
yes.
grow up, and the moms are not doing it on purpose. They just want to do it, and they don't know. But bribery is not the way, guys.
Yes, and the key point is that what you're doing, like she said, is not bribery. It's something that I'm working towards, back to taking the accountability. And I always say, I love that you said this too, because you can't teach integrity. You can teach skills, you can teach, you know, trades, but you can't teach a good human being. That comes from the absolute foundation of who you are, who
It's
you raised,
because-
how you were shaped, how you were grown. It's
Bribery.
incredible.
Bribery is when you do one thing one time and you get what you want, and then you don't need to do it again. Earning is that the parents tell you you can get
Brilliant.
something, but you got to do it for 2 months straight. And that's an earning. Like, you actually work hard. It's not just one day you do it and done. Like,
Amazing. I love that.
yeah.
I can just talk to you ladies all day.
Yeah,
Because you
this
are.
is
You're a
fun.
little beautiful lady. Incredible, both of you, because it does take
And-
the whole family. It takes the mother to have, a representation of you.
Yeah.
Incredible, beautiful.
And
Thank
it's also
you.
an amazing thing. Like, I love my mom, and some people may think I have confirmation bias. You know what that is?
Tell us.
So it's
Because
basically,
yes, but no other 9-year-old does.
it's basically, my dad just taught this to me in the car, and I
Good
was
dad.
like, ooh. And basically, it's like if you love chocolate ice cream,
Yes.
and everyone loves chocolate ice cream, and you love chocolate ice cream, so you're gonna have chocolate ice cream, and the rest of the kids sometimes are talking about vanilla, and one time you had vanilla ice cream and you threw up or something, so then you're loving chocolate, and no matter how much kids say I love vanilla, you're sticking with chocolate, and I had that one time with a cat. Like, I used to pet cats, and I used to love cats, and none of them scratched me until one time this cat scratched me. I was bleeding, and I couldn't stand cats. I was like, get away from me, no way. But now I want a baby kitten. I'm like, I want 5 of them. And because I let go of that, and some people may think I have confirmation bias with my mom because I never fight with my mom and I always avoid them. And I am always good with my mom and I'm with her, but it's also not true because
Which is healthy.
Yeah, because I have a lot of friends, and since I'm homeschooling, I have friends from soccer, swimming, ballet,
Amazing.
debate, chess, you name it, like everything, acting class. And I go into their houses and play, and
Yeah.
and there's a saying, you can't have the sun without the rain.
That's
So
right.
I
Beautiful.
go in some of their houses and there's a lot of rain. So then I come home and appreciate my mom as a son.
Oh, that's incredible. Wow. Oh, I hope that my children speak to me that way one day. Love, you are So beautiful. Like you, and it's so funny because I say this about Luke, but I really feel this, like you are still connected to source.
Yes.
And there are some children that are just there and they hold it and they foster it. But those key things that you say, that you listen to that little voice, that's what keeps you connected. So please don't ever lose that.
Thank you. And that's because and that's how I don't have confirmation bias, because it's still true. Like sometimes we have rain and there's a lot of, and it's basically the saying is like you go in the houses, you see rain, and then you realize you're like, my mom is the sun.
That's amazing.
So I need to make it the sun. And there could be a few drops of rain, but it'll become a rainbow.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've been actually intentionally working on choosing happiness every day.
I love that.
Like just choosing.
Yes.
Right? Whatever happens.
It is a choice.
Even if it's a good thing or a bad thing, your day is going like this. You're late from this, or some things, like she says, there's rain. How are we going to just choose happiness in that moment? We were just in Manhattan, snowstorm, crazy cold. She's walking around. The snow is like literally smacking her face. It was like windy.
Playing with the snow,
and
even
she's
though
like,
I feel like crying.
I'm so happy.
That's amazing.
This is great experience. Everything is an experience.
Yes, and there are studies that show that even if you don't want to, you should always put on a smile.
Yeah.
Because it really shifts just the act of it. I'm so like you did. I'm so happy. Your mind,
Even though you don't want to, even though
your mind believes
you
it.
want to reschedule something like today, I was like, can we just reschedule it? Like, put it in a day where I'm fine of working.
Well, thank you for
and
thank you for not rescheduling, because this was so special.
So fun.
And even though you want to reschedule and you just want to have a vacation day, you still say, I'm so happy that I have back-to-back speeches and podcasts.
Because you matter. That's why. That's incredible. I love that
Also-
so much. And you know what's so funny? And like, I literally, I'm an adult learning this, love. I am literally, I had to tell myself, even today, make that shift. It's okay. Look at all the beautiful things. Doesn't matter what happened here. Look at everything else.
Yeah.
And that is a choice. And it really is a reframe. It's all of those things. You wrapped it up in a bow so beautifully. And
Thank you.
I thank you for all the other children that will see this, hopefully. But even, I mean, they're seeing you on stages. They're seeing you everywhere. You are a light. You are a role model.
Thank you
and
so
you
much.
as well. The way that you're raising your children are incredible. And we all learn. You know, I say it's true because you need rain to grow flowers and trees. Like there needs to be the rain, yes, to learn, to know what sun feels like. And we go through our trials and tribulations. You know, our kids get sick, but then you learn. And the beauty of Shields, like all I keep thinking about, and I can't wait because it's so important to know that ahead of time. The fact that you can internalize that and understand that and picked your post-menopause choice, that was incredible.
That's
because
best
but the beauty is, I think that truly you understood the seasons that got you to be that incredible woman, which will get you to, but also to embrace what comes.
Yeah.
Because we don't know. You know, it is a movie that life may not always play out that way, but you have those skills, whatever comes.
Yeah. I think another one important thing that we always intentionally hone into is her imagination.
Yes.
Well, first, her innocence. We always preserve the kids' innocence.
Very important.
And the way you do that is you just literally don't let them watch too much of the nonsense, right? Because what goes into your eyes goes into your brain and literally can destroy who you are.
Yes.
And disconnect you from source,
Correct.
like you said. So we're very mindful of what they consume, what they listen to, what they watch. So maintaining the innocence, but the imagination.
Yes.
We've made that into an exercise,
I love
almost
that.
daily exercise.
Okay.
And how we do that is I'll put on stories to listen to, and I will refuse to show them the video. And I say, watch it in your head. So it's almost like forced exercise that they will do. Now they enjoy it. All of a sudden, I'm looking in the back of the car. These two, they're not even here. They're in their brain,
That's
in their
incredible,
imagination.
yes.
So when they have imagination and they can quickly get into their imagination brain, then they can manifest things.
Yes.
Because the way manifestation works is you write down your goals and you close your eyes and you imagine as if you've already had it. That's what I've learned from The Secret. Like
Yes.
that movie changed my
Yes.
life. It's funny because John Assaroff, Lisa Nichols, in that movie, now they're in my movies.
That's
the people who
incredible.
changed the trajectory of my life.
Amazing.
But I think the most important thing beyond integrity, honesty, maintaining innocence is the imagination. You
Yes.
have to have childlike imagination. And one other principle is kindness.
Yes.
No
So
matter,
important.
and you mentioned it earlier, how some women knock you down, some women have this whole thing, and that's actually in the American culture, by the way. It's not always that way.
I
in other
believe you.
cultures.
I absolutely believe
In my
you.
culture, like girls would hold hands and they were like
Yes.
besties.
Yes.
It was a different vibe. It was very supportive.
Right.
Much supporting them.
I think that's why I brought it up, because you can give that perspective. And I know that. Same thing with our food. The culture is just different. And I
Culture's
can't
different.
pinpoint it, but it
Yeah.
is.
And now, like, during when I watch movies, they're giving this. They used to give propaganda of transgender, and now they're giving the propaganda of, like, daughters having a worst relationship with their moms and always saying, "I hate you. You ruined my life."
She picks
and
up,
you're
she's
the
like,
worst.
Mom, brainwashing.
That's
So I don't
amazing.
have a relationship with you
Right.
because
That's true.
the best
The
thing
drama.
you could do
Yeah,
to
because-
control
Of
the little
course,
minds
of
is to
course.
disconnect them from
Yes.
their parents.
Because
Yes.
always
In a lot
saying,
of movies,
"Oh my
it's-
God, I have this boyfriend and you can't do anything about it." Like, it's always the daughter's coming home with the boyfriend and the mom's being upset, but the daughter's saying, "Oh my God, Mom, you're ruining my life."
That's
like
right.
all of this, all fights, disconnection. Mom
She
getting
knows.
super
There's a
upset,
writer behind
and
the
then
script.
at the end,
Yes,
and then at the
yes.
end, they fix the relationship, and
But
I'm
the
like,
whole movie was
the whole
a damaged
movie, all this
relationship.
fighting with
And the sad part is there's a flip side too, because moms are watching that.
Yeah.
So they're expecting that. I mean,
Oh,
everyone's
you hit that. Yes.
everyone's brainwashed together. So the
Yeah.
moms are expecting that to happen and watching, well, what am I supposed to do when that happens to me?
Yeah.
Not internalizing, like, does not have to be that way.
It does not. And it starts from, like, I remember when she was younger and I would be holding her, this and that, and people would be like, "Oh, wait till she's 2. The
Right.
tantrums begin."
Right.
And the kid is listening. I mean, they're
Yes.
1.5, but
Yes.
they're listening.
Yes.
So I would always be like, at 2, she's going to be the most beautiful,
I love
loving
that.
daughter. Like, I
Yes.
would
And then-
interject.
Yes. And
I
then-
never,
Yes.
ever
My mom-
allowed anybody's mind viruses
Yep.
to shift my
I
relationship.
love that mind
Yeah, and
And
viruses.
the same thing is
And
now
my
even
mom-
they say, "Oh, she's so beautiful," but wait until she's a
yeah,
teenager.
yeah.
Right.
Wait until she's a teenager.
I'm
Right.
like, when
She's
she's
gonna
a
start leaving the
teenager, we're
home.
gonna be best friends.
Exactly.
She's gonna be advocating and making a
Exactly.
change. I cannot wait for that day. So right away,
Yes.
mind virus is
The
gone,
reframe, yeah.
And I'm
and the
getting
real
close to my teenager
agenda
like,
is
it's
here
in
because
the
we're
middle-
also putting an agenda.
Yes.
In
You
the
know,
middle-
and your
100%.
agenda needs to
Yeah,
be.
there's this thing in the middle of being a kid and a teenager.
Yeah.
It's called the tween.
Yes,
And
sure
so
is.
The tween.
I'm in the middle of that age, and I haven't had any fights with my mom. So you don't have to believe any friends who say, "Wait till she's 2" or "Wait till she's 18."
You know
Oh,
what's
she came to me
funny?
the other day. She's like, "Mom, basically I'm turning 10, so that's a double digit. So basically you and I are both double digits, so we're gonna be even." I'm like, "But since when have you not been even with me?" She's like, "Oh, you're right.
That's incredible.
There's nothing to look forward to."
I love that.
You know, so she came in with this thing.
yes.
I think she had watched the movie or whatever.
Right.
And I was like, "But you've always been even.
I love
like you've
that.
always
Where
been this
did you
human
learn
being."
this from?
Important. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's incredible. And you know what's so funny, because even in a marriage, you offer that, and I'm sure you have a beautiful relationship with your husband, because that's what it is.
Yeah.
There's no need to fight when
Yeah.
you can have an honest, open
Yeah.
disagreement, agree to disagree.
Yeah.
And like, that's what I see. There's no need to fight.
Yeah.
And again, I hope so many people watch this, because like, this is how it should be.
Yeah.
It's like, and of course nothing in life is perfect, but what you're fostering together is incredible. I have
Thank you.
one final question,
Yes.
just to end, because I think that's really important. How do you, and maybe you don't know this, but moms are always protecting. How do you, because you're exposing her to, leaders and all these big stages, protect her from things that need to be not her problem, I guess.
Oh, wow. That's deep. Again, very much of a balance. You
Yeah.
know? You can do the maximum amount of leadership, spreading the word. It ultimately comes down to them making the choices.
Yeah.
You can't do this for someone else. You
Yes.
can't be happy for someone else. So you have to feel happy in your advocacy work that you'll reach the people that ultimately wouldn't have never had the opportunity to learn that stuff.
Yes.
So you're going to impact 50% of the people that end up watching you.
Yes.
And you have to be happy with that.
Yeah.
And I also have these 5 things of advice for moms and daughters.
Please.
You have a strong relationship because you can talk to each other. You can fix things right away when you make a mistake.
This is a snowstorm sniffle.
Oh,
Sorry
yes.
about that.
I mean, and it's cold here now, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in New York for a lot.
I know.
Yeah, a little bit. And you're healthy. You have a healthy relationship because you're constantly in harmony, and you're just waves.
I love
and
that. This
you're
is
trustworthy.
boat.
You're
Yeah.
trustworthy because you can tell your mom anything without being shy or
Very
hiding
important.
secrets. And that's 3. And number 4, you're really just tight because you can go up to your mom and say that this happened.
Right.
And
She's got your back.
and your mom won't get you in trouble. And number
love that.
5, keep those 4 things. And number 5, you got to just stay in harmony and never go to the other route because it's like you're together like this.
That trust
And
bond,
you're
yes.
together like this. And sometimes you
that.
could let go and go separate ways and become a loose leaf. But you need to stay together. And if you ever like this close, you always go back together. And then you just stay like this and you just walk together hip by hip.
Oh,
Yes.
gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, love, I want to know you forever. I want to see you.
God.
I want to see that 60-year-old. Oh, my God, incredible. Amazing.
Yes. And I
Wow.
want to see you when you're living long at 150 years old.
I mean, amen. I'll take it. I'm trying. I'm making all those shifts. I'm taking the
love
feedback. I'm trying. We're going to biohack. You know, we are like, Leo and I talk about it. Like, it is all the things, and it can be overwhelming, but it's worth it.
Yes.
It's worth it. The mental clarity, the integrity, knowing that, you know what, maybe I can't change everything, but I can change what I'm putting in my mouth.
Yes.
I can change what I have at home. I can't change everything that's happening outside. Yes, there's a balance of you can protect your child, who I want them to be with. But not always. There's always exposure. And
Yeah.
as you know, when you travel and meet other people and other, just being in a crowd, but you do the best you can.
Yeah.
And that's what matters. That's where the integrity is. And I love that. And I'll ask you the final question because Love gave us all the advice. And dude, I didn't even have to ask you that question. What should we give our audience? But Teresa, I guess as a mom,
Yeah.
what's your best advice?
Best advice to raising a daughter?
To anyone that's like, wow, I want this kind of relationship. I want to be healthy. What's the fundamental piece? Because the truth is there are a lot of broken relationships, with moms and daughters. And I'm guilty. I'm still repairing. And there are tons of women that I talk to. Where's the advice to have this? What do you give, I guess, also to the American culture so that we can watch this and not those movies?
Yeah, exactly. So if you have the opportunity and you're just getting started with your journey, invest your full time into that relationship. The first 6 years are instrumental.
I love that.
That can make or break your relationship.
Yes.
So I'm highly against sleep training.
Oh, okay.
That itself will damage your relationship and
Yes.
trust issues,
Wow.
abandonment issues. Dr. Farber came up with that, and that was not really ideal. It actually ruins all the relationships and the trust. So don't sleep train. Co-sleep for as long as you can. That safety when the child is sleeping next to a parent
about
for
safety.
12 hours of their day and feels safe. There's research, there's science behind
Yes.
it. It allows
The
them
nervous
to flourish.
system, yes.
The nervous system regulation. So number one advice,
Beautiful.
if you're in the beginning of your motherhood, do not sleep train. Try your best to nurse for as long as possible.
Wow.
Co-sleep. We co-sleep until now.
Yeah, we co-sleep. We actually ended up buying 2 queen beds because
Incredible.
these kids kick us out.
That's
So we
right.
needed 2 queen beds, but it's the best because they thrive because they wake
Yes.
up confident.
Yes.
Some people may not agree with me, and that's but what has worked for me.
Yes.
is
Maybe
what I'm
the
saying.
only day where you can not co-sleep is when you're double digits or whatever, but
Oh, she's getting ready for the double digits.
but
Dad.
the whole time
She came one day, she was like, Dad, when I turn 10, I may just, get my own bedroom and, just go sleep in my bedroom. And Dad is like, my little girl.
Right. There's that too, holding on to it. And I feel that as my kids grow up, like, please, no, don't. We talked about the shoe sizes, like, no, you're
But to
a
be
little
honest,
person.
and you
she
have to
spoke out
co-sleep
about that.
until you're double digits.
Amazing.
She spoke out about that. She
Yeah.
told Dad, she's like, when you talk negatively about me growing up,
Yes.
I almost resent the growing up process.
Wow, okay.
When I'm with you, and I almost feel ashamed that I'm gonna grow up. It's not exciting anymore.
Wow.
Versus when I'm like, I'm so excited, you're gonna be 10. We can now do this and this and this.
Yes,
So
yes.
that gives her this other thing that she looks forward to, maturing and
What
growing
incredible
up. So
feedback, yes.
That was such a good, wise kind of
So wise.
self-awareness.
She's so wise.
I'm telling
Unbelievable.
you. But going back to the advice, advice number 1, do not ever sleep train. Advice number 2, nurse for as long as possible. That gives you that connection that you can never, ever regain, ever. I mean, the first year or 2 is all you have to dedicate, right?
Yeah.
And then you have the benefit of having a healthy relationship for the rest of your life. I would say number 4, make projects as families.
I love that, yes.
Include your kids.
Very important.
Our project is health, so we'll be testing ourselves, we'll be taking supplements with each other.
Amazing.
We biohack together. That is our thing,
Yes.
right? So when you have a thing together,
Yeah.
it's entertaining. It brings you home. We have our regular home meetings, like family meetings.
I love that.
We'll discuss, hey, so what did you do today? Your
Yep.
to-do list, etc. I think advice number 4 is prioritize your kids no matter what, over anything, right?
Amazing.
I had a choice. I had a career going,
Yeah.
and that stopped being a priority. They became a priority,
Yes.
and look what that started.
Yes.
Correct. So you
Yes.
never know your path. Be flexible, be fluent, and like
Beautiful.
she said, go with the flow.
Beautiful.
Have your family in the
Yeah.
same boat,
Yes.
and going through the waves. Don't
Together.
go against the waves
Yeah.
or separate. This
It's
is what I
so
always tell
important.
them. So I think those are the principles.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, ladies, you are incredible.
Thank you.
I'm going to know you forever. I'm so
Thank you
thankful
so
that
Thank
you've been
you.
here.
This was fun. Thank
This
you
was
so much.
so fun and
Yeah.
so enlightening and warming on so many levels, parenting and kids. And thank you for bringing this perspective, because I think, and you will find out from other women, not you, thankfully,
Thank
that
you.
we all need this.
Yeah.
This is so eye-opening and such a
Yeah.
breath of fresh air to have this incredible, confident, sure of yourself little woman. Yes. And I welcome you to the next
Little woman.
digits, because you are going to be incredible and the rest of the world will see it with
Yeah.
your mom by your side.
And there's also never just double digits, and you just don't.
Because we hope to get to 3 digits.
Yes.
So let's get there.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. You gotta get 3
Woo!
digits. There's no just 2 digits
Wow.
for the rest of your life. You gotta go 3 digits.
That's
and
right.
Then possibly 4 digits.
Oh, I mean, listen,
We're
if we
going back to
biohack
biblical
right,
times,
right?
yeah.
If we
Yeah.
biohack correctly. Ladies, tell us where to find you. How do we follow you? How do we find Shield? Biohack on Netflix. We need to follow.
Yes.
Tell us.
So
Thank you.
Love is available on Instagram at Lolli.
Love it.
She's got amazing interviews with Lindsay Lohan and
Oh.
Mike Tyson, and she still acts in other movies when the message is aligned with us. She has
Amazing.
so much going on. So just following her journey is
Yes.
awesome.
And my brother's is Legend Lion Lolli.
at
My
Legend Lolli.
You're a good sister.
Yes,
Thank
very
you.
good sister.
Very
She's
good sister.
She's looking at him. She's like, let me promote my bro.
For sure. That's
My personal
right.
Instagram is at Teresa Lolli. I post literally everything we do all the time.
Amazing.
Whether it's the
And
print
my dad's-
magazine, whether it's the media company, whether
Yeah.
it's the documentaries, whether it's family things that we're doing. And of course, the Biohack Yourself Media on Instagram.
Amazing.
Yeah, also my dad's is at Anthony Lolli. And then you can find us on biohackyourself.com or Biohack Yourself Media.
There you go.
And-
Love,
or
you're
at
awesome.
Shield Doc. Shield Doc is
Oh,
all
I
about
didn't
Shield.
know.
Yes.
Yeah, at Shield Doc.
Or
yeah.
at
Shield Doc,
Biodentistry.
amazing.
Do
And it'll
you
be
have one?
available on all the major streaming platforms
Incredible.
starting May 15th.
Amazing.
So
And we'll
watch.
link everything here.
Yeah.
Guys, if you haven't seen the documentary, if you haven't been following along, I hope that you find this and just embrace everything and know that we're hopefully raising all beautiful humans like this.
Yes.
Because I want this for my kids. This is what everyone ideally wants. And thank you for being here. I know
You're
that this
welcome.
was not vacation, but I hope you enjoed. And
No, this is actually super vacation.
I love that.
There you go. There you
There's
go.
the sun.
I
Love, you're
I
incredible.
thought it was just gonna be a podcast, but you know what's vacation for me? Having a girl talk.
That's what Seasons is. Thank you for saying that.
This was
That's
awesome,
what
yeah.
that's what I want, and that's what I tell every guest. And I honestly, like I told you in the beginning, I just want to have
Tell
a
the
chat
guests.
over a cup of coffee.
I don't
Yeah.
want to just have a podcast and post it on YouTube and be all perfect. I want to actually talk to you and interact.
That everyone, that is
That is what
that
you
is
do.
my purpose, and I
Yes.
did
you
it.
did it amazing.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you so much.
Please
This
stay
was awesome.
tuned, like, subscribe, listen on any platform, follow them. This has been the most incredible, heartwarming episode experience, mother-daughter duo. You are gonna, the sky, beyond the sky, universe is the limit.
Make sure to like and subscribe at Seasons of Daniela Klemenko.
You're so cute. Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon.